for May 13th, 2026. Thank you, Stanley Ruff, for welcoming us into your home this evening and hosting us. We are very excited to be here and share this spotlight with you tonight. Thank you to my board members also for being present tonight and for sharing in his experience of ours as serving on the board of Ed. So with that, I will ask Al to lead us in the pledge. Would the students like to lead us in the pledge tonight? That would be great.
Our flag is that way.
Whenever you guys ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, that was excellent.
Kate, Gladys, Dr. Cohen, Lauren,
Here.
Juanita, here, Cindy,
Here.
Sherry,
Here.
Sean, here, Minnie,
Here.
Louisa,
Here.
and I'm here.
Okay, we are very excited to be here tonight to hear all about Stanley Ruff Elementary School. So tonight is Spotlight Your School, and I see 6 student leaders sitting in front of me, so I can't wait to hear what you're going to present about your school today. So I will turn it over to you. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Executive director behind me.
Oh, and we have an executive director also in charge of directing all of the other student leaders tonight. So thank you for pointing that out. Would you like to introduce yourselves before we begin?
I'm Danny.
I'm Valentina.
I'm Sophia. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Carter.
I'm Izzy.
I'm Claire.
And Claire. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening to all of our distinguished guests. We appreciate the Board of Education for the opportunity to spotlight Stanley Ruff Elementary. We are the student leadership team. Our school's journey is rooted in the Danbury Public Schools' goal to become the #1 district in Connecticut. Tonight, we'll briefly share how the school's key priorities and actions help us become strong advocates, collaborators, communicators, innovators, and learners.
This work could not have been completed without the dedication, insight, and passion of our school leadership team. Our school leadership team has worked together to examine the data, discuss with other staff members, and determine innovative ways to address our problems of practice. Like so many across Danbury, our school is committed to supporting every child every day. Now, let's dive in with our wildly important goals.
Our goal is to make our district the best in Connecticut, and we're the ones at the center of the list. Here's what that looks like for us. The whole child. Here at Stanley Ruff, we feel healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged. Portrait of a graduate. We are building the specific skills we need to be ready for the world after high school. Wildly important goals. Our school is focusing on the areas that help us grow the fastest, achieve our best, and keep our well-being a priority. These goals are bold, but they reflect our greatest opportunities to accelerate student success. For our first goal of increasing proficiency in math as per assessment, we have already seen a lot of growth in math according to iReady scores for the spring. Some of the things that the teachers and administration have done to see this improvement are departmentalized 5th grade, targeted flexible small groups in MIN, 30 to 45 minutes in MyPath weekly, professional learning community meetings with the math teachers and Ms. Ward from the district math department. For our first goal of decreasing the number of students scoring below grade level in foundational skills, we are so happy to say that we are nearing our goal of 30%. Our K to 3rd grade teachers have worked so hard to implement science and reading strategies with our core literacy curriculum and have looked at data to inform their small group instruction. Now let's see what this looks like in action.
Our school vision isn't just a statement, it's how we show up every day. Here is how we are grown. We are learners. In 5th grade, having subject-specific teachers help us dive deep. When things get tough in math or reading, we know how to use data and support to push through and succeed. We value collaboration. Whether we are in small groups or meeting with our buddy classes to share our writing, we aren't just working side by side. We are sharing strategies and helping each other grow. We master communication and compassion through restorative practices and PBIS celebrations. We learn to use our voices. We know how to resolve conflicts constructively and advocate for ourselves and our peers. While we build these skills for the future, we feel supported today. These aren't just lessons, they are tools we'll take with us long after we graduate. Another example of working towards a portrait of graduate is our student leadership team, which is us. We are made up of 5th grade students who were selected by teachers Ms. Lopez and Mr. Serling. We help during school events, we carry out student-led assemblies, we serve as student representatives, and finally, we interview, produce, and publish our very own podcast, which we created. This experience has taught us many valuable lessons, such as collaboration through the many conversations we had to decide on people to interview and questions to ask. We learned a lot about advocacy, especially when talking to people like Mayor Alves and Dr. Castaneda. Our communication skills are so much better now compared to the beginning of the year, as we have learned to speak up and talk into the microphone, as well as ask follow-up questions. Finally, we are proud to be innovators, as this is the first elementary school podcast in Danbury, and we hope this podcast can continue with future 5th grade groups.
A larger group of 5th graders were selected to serve as safety patrol members. This group is tasked with patrolling the hallways during dismissal and patrolling during school-wide events. They also assume the leadership role during the school day by reminding students to walk in the hallways or be kind to one another. They met with people in the community, such as Ms. Cusio from the AAA Association. We are now in the process of selecting the next group of safeties out of the current 4th grade group and as students' leadership team. We will be involved in the whole process.
The Kindness and Compassion Club, led by Miss Ireland and Miss Candice, and made up of 3rd through 5th grade students, and they do so much to teach the whole school kindness and compassion. They do fundraisers such as the Spring Fling and donate drives, and then donate proceeds to many community organizations. The club also does a lot for the school by holding spring yard cleaning and creating educational and beautiful bulletin boards. The students learn so many life lessons in this club, and we appreciate Miss Ireland and Miss Candice for volunteering to run this club without compensation, all out of love for the school.
We are working hard to make sure every one of us stays healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged. Here's how we are taking the lead. Our voice in health. As a student leadership team, we met with the district's operation manager, Mr. Doug Langridge, to advocate for the types of food we want to see in our lunches. Building a kind community. We are learning how to treat each other with kindness so we can become positive members of society. Safety and connection. To keep us safe, our school uses restorative practices. This means we focus on repairing relationships and staying connected to our classrooms even when things get tough. Celebrating success. We make sure to celebrate the joy in our hard work. Take a look at this slideshow to see the wonderful things happening at our school.
Let the music take control. Ignite the fire in your soul. We're gonna shine so bright tonight. We're gonna shine so bright tonight. Let the music take control. Ignite the fire in your soul. We're gonna shine so bright tonight. We're gonna shine so bright.
quote that is repeated every morning in our announcements and that every student learns and believes. We hope you enjoy learning about our school and how special it is. We welcome you to visit us anytime. We are always learning, always practicing being kind, and always trying to do it together. Remember, be rest, be rough. We believe in you. You are enough in love. You have strength, and we know you will try your best. You can do anything you put your mind to. No matter what happens, know you can turn it around. We will support you and never give up on you. Together is better. Sally Stallions, have an awesome day.
I just want to say good evening to everyone and thank our leadership team here. I'm Lenny Serlich, the principal at Sally Ruff. This is Jenny Lopez, assistant principal. I think this was a perfect example of the start of the portrait of a graduate. When we talk about the start of the continuum, the K-5 piece, clearly you can see we're doing our due diligence to get a good start on that continuum. This is what we pass on to the middle school, and I think that's why I wanted to have them present tonight. I can take the mic and talk all night, you know that. But I didn't want to do that, and it was hard to give this up to them, but I knew, I was confident they could do this. And they were giving me chills. I don't know about you guys, I had tears in my eyes over here. Because everything they articulated is everything that I would have said. They did this. With the help of Mrs. Lopez, they did this. This is a great accomplishment for them, but this is something that we have here at Sally Ruff, and we hope to continue on in years to come. Thank you everybody for coming out, and thank you parents for supporting us. Have a good night.
I just want to say to you, and to you as well, that I was here just a few weeks ago, and it was probably what could have been one of the best run podcasts in the district. And I say that, you can tell Mr. Bedish I said that too. Mr. Bedish, has that real estate in that market, but this group is phenomenal. And the presentation was wonderful. And I have to say, I think maybe all year, I've had some pretty tough questions asked of me this year. Your group had some of the tougher ones. But I will say that I love the student culture that you've built here. And I love the fact that you've created leadership opportunities for the students. And that when we do these things, they rise to the occasion and are phenomenal. So thank you so much for this presentation and all the work that went into it. Jenny, the work that you do with this group on the podcast is incredible. And there's a lot of growth that is seen as a result of those efforts. So thank you so much. And parents, thank you for coming out tonight. It makes a difference that you're here, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Don't forget your papers.
Wow, that was hard to follow up now. Thank you for that. It makes these events really worth doing. So, on to public participation. Dora?
The board welcomes public participation and asks that speakers please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Speakers may offer objective comments of school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit any expression of personal complaints or defamatory comments about Board of Education personnel and students, nor against any person connected with the Danbury Public School System.
Thank you. Lauren, I have one name signed up, Melinda Scope.
Scott.
You can call me Scoot, that's what the kindergartners call me. Alright, I'm unscripted tonight, so like Mr. Serlich, I too could take the microphone and talk all night, but y'all are on my home turf tonight, so I could not pass up the opportunity. I have to say, I really do miss not coming to the board meetings and speaking on a regular basis, but y'all are just way too far away now. Way too far away. I'm a mile from school here, and despite construction, still a mile from school, and you're far out. Anyway, I just want to thank you for coming and doing this here at our school, and I know we're not the first, and hopefully we won't be the last. I think this is a brilliant idea. Brilliant. I think it is so eye-opening and so purposeful and so meaningful. for everybody, cabinet members and board members, to get out into the buildings and really see what's going on. I'll just do it again, but I was tearing up watching those kids. Like, it's such a proud teacher moment for me too, to see what those kids can do. I'm such a mush. But it's so great to see them. And several of them were mine last year. I'm a 4th grade teacher, and so it was just so awesome. But I think it's great for you guys just to see what's happening. So that was number 1. Number 2, I really had to say publicly the huge thank you to Dr. Casimiro and you guys too for making the transportation funds happen this year for us. As a 4th grade teacher, we have a very ambitious program involving outdoor classroom, formerly Nature's Classroom, that is costly but worth every single penny. I spend innumerable hours fundraising to make this happen for our students, and the busing costs every year are just so prohibitive. That's why we don't travel anymore to do it. That's why we stay local. But even the local trip over to spending a day at Terry Weil for one of our Nature on Wheels experiences, it's so expensive. So having the opportunity to have those buses covered this year just made it so that we could offer more opportunities to our students. So we were able to do things that we would not have been able to do if we hadn't had those funds covered. So thank you for making that happen. We know it's probably not going to happen again, but maybe it will, maybe it'll be a regular thing and we can make this happen again. But that was huge into making programming happen for these kids. And for so many of our students, I don't need to tell you, they've never been to Terry Weil. It's right here in Danbury, right? That's an opportunity for yourself. I used to be thrilled when I got to take them to an oceanside beach because so many of them had never been to a beach. Okay, I don't get that opportunity anymore, but just taking them to Terry Weil and exposing them to something that's right here in our community is really amazing. So thank you and welcome.
Thanks. All right, the consent calendar. Lauren, consent calendar tonight.
I need to move my seat. I make a motion that the Board of Education approve consent calendar exhibits 26-77 and 26-78 in accordance with the below notes.
Thank you, Lauren. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second made by Al. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns on the consent calendar? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have anybody from the educational staff present? Student representatives? Okay, come on.
Hello, my name is Alexandra. Good evening, Board of Ed members, cabinet, and community members. Thank you for allowing me to represent and speak on behalf of the Alternate Center of Excellence. ACE will host its graduation ceremony on Tuesday, June 16th at 4:30 at Broadview Auditorium. A special thanks to Broadview for opening up their doors to us for a special event. On Tuesday, May 12th, ACE held its spring humanities benchmark. On this day, the whole school completed the humanities benchmark based on grade level. After the benchmark are complete, students attended activity classes with their guidance groups. On Tuesday, May 19th, Daniela, Alyssa, and Melissa will take 25 poetry students on the annual ACE Poetry Hike at Beebrook in Washington, Connecticut. Students will have an opportunity to hike and create original poetry and art pieces inspired by nature. On Saturday, May 16th, from 1 to 4, ACE will host its 5th annual Joe Pepin Day to celebrate ACE. Its founder, Joe Pepin, who opened the doors to ACE in 1977. The day will include a barbecue, face painting, and rock painting for kids, and time for alumni and staff to spend with one another. The event is open to public to celebrate Joe and ACE. On Thursday, May 28th, ACE will host its annual ACE Coffee House at the Hodges Park from 5:30 to 7:30. The event will start with a barbecue and then transition to a coffee house portion at the night where students and staff will read original piece of poetry and perform music. Thank you all for allowing us to share what's going on with our ACE family this spring.
Have a nice evening, stay healthy, and remain strong. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and now we'll move it over to the superintendent.
All right, we have a quick one today. I have to say, I'm very impressed with all the student speakers tonight. Just the confidence and the poise and the way you are delivering messages, it's just very impressive. It's another display of the work that's being done in the school, so thank you. Okay, so just a brief update. We're still unpacking some of the recent legislative approved funding that has been designated to municipalities and to school districts. Right now, we believe we're getting about $2.9 million as a supplemental that should be delivered from the commissioner through the municipality and then to the schools by October 31st. And so it's my understanding at this point in time that we'll have to come up with a plan on how to use that one-time money. I can think of some things, maybe after tonight, when looking at facilities, there's certainly some worthy projects that could be on deck. But as a board and as a team, we'll discuss some of the best ways to use that one-time funds. Once we learn a little bit more about any parameters that are attached to that. The city is also getting an allocation as well. Theirs is a little bit more complex because it's comprised of several different numbers. So I'll let the city speak to that on their end, but we are thankful for that. As you know, there's been a lot of discussion around ECS, that's our educational cost share formula, which hasn't been updated in a very, very long time. The legislative session did not yield a change in that formula just yet, but there is a new blue ribbon commission that has been established to look at the formula. So there was a push to change the formula in this session, but because it is so complex and there was a lot of folks weighing in, they decided to stop and kind of really study it. So hopefully in the next round, we'll get some movement on that, which could bring additional dollars per student to Danbury in the form of ECS dollars. So more to come on that. And then this was a very, very busy legislative session. There was a lot of updates. Again, we are still unpacking all of that because the session just ended. We have plans to bring in Lindsay Jacobs, who's one of our lobbyists and helps us with advocating at different levels, and we've collaborated on different pieces of legislation. And so she serves as a little bit of a liaison to our board. And we'll be bringing her in a board meeting that's coming up, either the next board meeting or the very first one in June. We're still working out some of those dates in the meantime. Mike, if you want to fill in a few gaps for us on some of the bigger, more high-profile ones, and just what you know about them, that'd be great.
Sure, thank you, Dr. Kazmir. So I think that was really the headline, was the $2.9 million that we were getting in supplemental education aid. If you remember a couple meetings ago, I had mentioned there were two bills really pushing for an increase to ECS. There was HB 5002 and SB 7. Neither of those bills passed, but this supplemental aid was sort of a consolation prize. It's one time. Those bills would have put a mechanism in place for year-over-year increases. So without those bills, we have this one-time funding, but it could be a bellwether of things to come. These may resurface in the next session with a little bit more momentum because now they're sort of in the, they're in the spirit of what people will be talking about. Another good bit of news, we talked a little bit about this at sites, as there was an increase in the reimbursement amount for the walls that are being planned for King Street Primary. Originally, we were only going to get a 63% reimbursement on that cost. Now that is up to 80%. In my last conversation with Rep. Santos, said there are still ongoing efforts to find additional supplemental funding to potentially cover more of that cost. Another bill that we were watching closely was SB 427. This was the dual credit bill that we talked about that Dr. Casimiro testified on both last year and this year. Well, this year was a different bill number last year, but it was the same concept. This was one that passed, and it's going to be it's going to require the state to appoint a dual credit concurrent enrollment coordinator at the state level. We were hoping there'd be something a little bit more regional that would help us, do some of the work here between WestCon and ourselves and some of the partner districts. But nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction. So I think it's a good sign. And there's also money in there to pay for some credits and fee waivers for students that are taking dual credit courses. And that's really the big news on the education front. There were a few more bills that I think Lindsay Jacobs will dig into when she gets here, and they have a full session wrap-up report. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll have a lot more information.
Thank you. Okay, and just 2 more items. So we have CODA this Saturday, May 16th, and then it's in your packet. That's from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And it looks like we also have Joe Pepin Day from 1 to 4. So if you go to CODA at 11 o'clock and stay for 2 hours, then you can head on over to Joe Pepin Day and you can get both in. Great food, face painting at CODA, amazing artwork. Your children's artwork will be there posted somewhere. And it's really fun to see, and the kids love to drag whoever brought them there over to find their artwork in the sea of art. So that's one of my favorite things to do. There's ice cream and lots of music, and I'm not sure if our Vex Robotics team is setting up. They usually do every year, but we have a world championship team, and it's great for the kids to see that program because we are now backward building that program into our elementary schools to get kids really engaged in STEM, STEAM, building robotics, coding, and understanding the world of all the mechanical and digital tools that we are able to offer them, and that lead to some of our pathways at the high school. So we're excited about that. And then just one last thing, I know there was a question, Kelly, I'm going to give you a second to maybe talk a little bit about preschool in a moment, and then just the planned use for the classrooms at AIS that we have on deck to renovate. We did have a sites and facilities meeting previous, and there were some questions there, but I also just in my other column wanted to make sure we updated the full board on that.
Sure, thank you, Dr. Casimiro. I will start with AIS. We are currently renovating a space. It is right now storage space, which we are pleased after looking at the site plans that we can add 3 classrooms as well as 2 office or sensory spaces for the students. This will be for our self-contained special education students. I think if the board recalls, last year we talked about our Pembroke program was growing, which houses our self-contained programming, mostly for students on the autism spectrum. We currently have 6 classes at Pembroke, and we needed to add an additional one, and that's when we decided to move a classroom over to AIS and then add another one. So we have 6 classes at Pembroke, 2 at AIS, growing to another one at AIS next year, and we are running out of room. So therefore we are renovating the space to add those 3 classrooms, also to bring in those office spaces, because with that population we do need more related services space, so an increase in speech and language services, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. So I'm happy to report that the program at AIS has went off very smoothly and seamlessly. We transitioned a veteran teacher into that program. And then we hired a new teacher, and they've made a really, really nice partnership, and the AIS faculty has really embraced the programming for those students. Pembroke is still continuing very strong, but we've recognized that they are at their capacity as far as specialized programming in that building. So that is what we are doing with the renovations over there. I'm going to pause for questions. Okay. And Granville. So prior to COVID, we had renovated Granville to house all of our special education preschool programs, and we outgrew the space before we cut the ribbon. So we currently have 10 classes at Granville, along with multiple related services spaces. There are 4 SLPs, an occupational therapist, a physical therapist that all work out of that building, along with several other related services staff on a full and part-time basis. We have 3 classrooms that are special education preschool classrooms at Sacred Heart. And so the expansion of Granville will allow us to bring all those classes over to have a preschool under one roof, and then allow for some program development over time, which we continue to anticipate. So there'll be a 2-phase renovation of Granville. The church space is being gutted currently. The church is no longer there. They have vacated the property. And the house that was used for the pastor is being leveled to have increased parking spaces. So in the first year, they will add close to 40 additional parking spaces to the parking lot, and it creates leveling. It's kind of up on a hill. It's a little bit of a project. And then the inside of the church will create 3 classroom spaces along with several other office spaces. We'll bring some of it'll be for psych and social work, speech and language, and then we'll bring some of our tech team over there as well. So that will enable us to bring all of our special ed preschool from Sacred Heart over to Granville. So that'll be the first time that I can recall that preschool has ever been under one roof as a comprehensive school together. It also allows us to maximize our busing and transportation, all of our related services, as right now many of them are transitioning back and forth between schools. And then next year, over the summertime, out the back of the building, they will continue by adding 4 additional classrooms, 2 on the top level and 2 on the bottom level. And that will allow us to have some additional room for growth. At that time, we anticipate needing 1 or 2 more classes, and then it will give us some additional areas to provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, and so forth. But happy to report that that should help with our preschool growth over the very near future. So.
Thank you. That is it?
All right, great. Next, do we have any reports from our committee chairs that they would like to talk about? John Marshall?
I'd like to publicly thank Dr. Seelig, Jason, Rich Jalbert for working extremely hard on a new document that will allow the board to see work in progress at every school, so we can check back, and the volume of work that they did in a month is stunning. It's a testament to the crew that works. I'd like to thank Lenny and Mrs. Lopez for a great tour and the kids, but we had a great meeting here tonight, and I hope it's to build on for the future.
Thank you. Okay, on to the chair's report. Just a few things tonight. This is our last on-location meeting for the school year. Our next 3 meetings will be back in the boardroom. I just want to take a minute to thank the board for helping with this year. We will have the full schedule of our locations for the 26-27 school year, so you'll know where we're going to be at the school. So we're hoping to really run it next year and get a lot of attendance and through the district. So thank you to the parents for showing up tonight. It's really important to us that we have that engagement with the community. A couple things for my board members. Please RSVP for the parade if you haven't already done so we know who will be attending, and so we have an idea. So we walk in and we can plan that accordingly. Also for the graduations, I know we got a lot of invites, so there's a lot of places to be, so if you could RSVP to those so we can just make sure we have somebody attending all of them. I know we can't all get to everything, but we can divide and conquer this spring, because the next 6 weeks are going to be a little bit busy for us. One more thing I wanted to just make comment of. We had a senior from Gambert High School who had an art show over at the Brookfield Craft Center, and I was telling Kara about this, and I stopped over to see his work, and it was absolutely the most incredible. I was overwhelmed when I walked in. I did not expect the caliber of talent that I saw when I walked in there. So I just want to make mention of it. I know we talk a lot about STEM and computer in our robotics teams, but this district holds so much talent on so many levels, both art, music, science, math. I mean, it is just incredible, and we should just be, screaming it off of the rooftops for everything. So thank you for the invites. These are very important for us, so we get out there and we can see what's happening within our district. And with that is it for me. I'm going to move it on to board discussion. Does any board members have anything they'd like to share before we close out the evening?
I just want to remind board members to please check your mail for the CABE Liaison newsletter, the upcoming Summer Leadership Conference, the Delegate Assembly, the convention in November, and the new board member orientation leadership conference in December. See Louisa if you're interested in attending those.
No? Nothing? Okay. All right, with that, want to thank everybody from the school for welcoming us today, everybody at Stanley Ruff. We really appreciate the warm welcome we got this evening. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion made by Lauren, second made by